The Attorney General is considering whether to challenge as unduly lenient an 8-month suspended prison sentence given to a man who sexually abused a 13-year-old girl. During the case, a prosecution barrister described the victim as predatory and sexually experienced. The comments have been criticised by the Crown Prosecution Service and rape charities. Andy Moore reports.
At Nesbrook Court on Monday, 41-year-old Neil Wilson admitted a sex act with a 13-year-old girl. But it was the comments of the prosecuting barrister and the judge that have caused such an outcry. Robert Collover said the girl is predatory in all her actions and she is sexually experienced. That comment earned him a rebuke from the Crown Prosecution Service. A spokesman said the language used by prosecution counsel was inappropriate. The transgressor in this case was the defendant and he bears responsibility for his criminal acts. The judge in the case, Nigel Peters, said the girl was older than she looked and added, "The girl was predatory and was egging you on. That is no defence when dealing with children, but I am prepared to impose a suspension." The Attorney General's office says it will decide whether to send the case to the Court of Appeal because the sentence was unduly lenient. Children's charities have attacked the comments made by both the prosecutor and the judge. They said a child could never be complicit in their own abuse. Andy Moore, BBC News.
Well, with us now here in the studio is Jessica Standley, who's a personal injury lawyer who specialises in child abuse cases for the firm Slater & Gordon. Thanks very much indeed for being with us. These comments from the prosecuting barrister, what do you make of them, and what do you make of the system, I suppose, that allows those kind of comments to be made in a court?
Well, these comments are very concerning. I represent victims of abuse every day and deal with them, and I know that it takes great courage for them to come forward and report that abuse. What concerns me is that in light of these comments, victims will be put off reporting the abuse.
So, you know, what changes would you like to see? We've already heard that there are going to be changes to the extent that there'll be specially trained judges who will handle these kind of cases, but there's also been talk of maybe there should be specialist courts to deal with child abuse cases. Would you agree with that?
I think any changes which help and support these victims through the court process are positive, and I'm pleased to hear that there is talk of judges receiving specialist training which will help guide victims through the process. It is very important that they're dealt with sensitively so that other victims aren't put off reporting the abuse. It
seems the legal system's been quite slow, because there have been a number of these cases, haven't there, where there's been kind of quite aggressive statements made by barristers, whether they be defence or prosecuting barristers, and this has been going on for some time. And has it, in your view, taken the legal system a little bit too long to address this problem?
Well, I think it is positive that they are now taking the steps to address those issues, and I hope that it makes things easier for victims in the future.
What other changes would you like to see to make it, you know, not easier, but for child abuse victims when they do appear in court to give evidence?
I think it is important that they are encouraged to speak out and that they receive any support that they need throughout that process. It's not easy giving evidence in court. Victims often say to me that when they have to go through the court process, it's almost like they're going through the abuse again. So I think any steps that make it easier for them to do that is positive.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming in. Jessica Standley there, solicitor for Slater & Gordon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, it is 13 minutes past 12, the latest headlines. Interest rates will remain at